Hello everyone, this class is continuation of your chapter number 11, that is a piece of faith. Okay, so today we are going to deal with page number 89. So in the previous class we encountered it on escaped convict, and there was a conversation going on in between the escaped convict and the protagonist of the story, Pip. Okay, let us proceed to next paragraph. Okay, now see. "You young dog," said the man, licking his lips, "what fat cheeks you have." I believe they were fat, though I was at that time too lean for my years. "Curse me if I could not eat them," said the man. "Curse me if I could not eat them," said the man with a threatening shake of his head. Now see, I honestly express my hope that he owned and held tighter to the tombstone on which he had put me, partly to keep myself up and eat, partly to keep myself from crying. "Now look here," said the man, "where is your mother?" Now see, this all these things, whatever the escape convict is the way escape convict was dealing with Pip, or the treating Pip, that means we can interpret that his intention was to make Pip scare off. His intention was to make Pip scare off. He was trying to create a fear in Pip's mind for him. Is it okay? So now see, he inquired Pip about his so he mentioned Pip about his cheeks, and he said that your cheeks are very fat, very chubby, it will be very good to eat. Okay, and curse me if I don't take your cheek. Okay, so he's like this. He tried to scare Pip, and now Pip was thinking that Pip was expecting that he's just he's just scaring him, but he would not take his cheek. Okay, after like this, Pip was thinking, and then Pip narrated that how he placed him on the way the convict placed Pip on the tombstone. Okay, that was also very scary. So half of his body was on the tombstone, half of his body was hanging, so that people would scare off for falling down from the tombstone, and he would cry. Okay, that was his intention. Then he inquired of his mother. Then Pip pointed out that there is my mother. So when Pip pointed out him that there is my mother, okay, he became alarmed. It alarmed him. Okay, and now see, though he was scaring, from this we can interpret, though he was scaring what called Pip, but in fact he was also scared of Pip, and he was also scared of to be caught. Okay, scared of to be caught, or he is also very desperate. Okay, so that is why while Pip pointed that there my mother is there, so he became very alert, and he just ran for a moment, and then he stopped. Then again he came back. Okay, but when he could figure out that Pip is Pip is pointing towards the gravestone, so he got relief. Okay, that's what we can understand here. See, made a short run and stopped and looked over his shoulder. "There, sir," I timidly explained. "Also, Gajiana, that's my mother." "Oh," said he, coming back. "And is that your father alongside your mother?" Then seeing the another one, Thomaston, he inquired Tom, "Is that your father?" Okay, then see, "Yes, sir," said I, "him too late of this parish." Lad of this parish. So we got another word, lad of this parish. The lad of this parish means my father was also member of this parish. Parish, you have already learned the word parish in the previous class, that a district church. Parish means what? A district church. So my father was a member of this district church, and he is also buried in this very district church alongside my mother. Okay. So now see, he muttered, then considering, who do you live with? Okay. After learning that Pip was an orphan, Pip did not have his father and mother. Pip's father and mother both were died. After learning that, he inquired that with whom does Pip live? Okay. My sister, sir, Mrs. Joe Jerry, wife of Joe Jerry, Mrs. Joe Jerry. My sister, sir, Mrs. Joe Jerry, wife of Joe Jerry, the blacksmith, sir. Blacksmith? Said he, and looked down at his leg. Now see, then he inquired Pip, with whom does he live? And when Pip replied that he lived with his sister, Mrs. Jerry, the wife of Mr. Joe Jerry, who is the blacksmith. Okay, after knowing that, after hearing the word blacksmith, okay, he paused, and it seems he came into a decision. Okay, after directly looking at his leg and me several times, he came closer to my tombstone, took me by both arms, and tilted me back as far as he could hold me, so that his eyes looked most prayerfully down into mine, and mine looked most helplessly up into his. Okay, so you can see the picture here in your textbook. Okay, see, see, now look here. He said, the question being whether you are to be let to live. You know what a file is? Yes. And you know what betuels are? Yes, sir. After each question, he tilted me over a little more, so as to give me a greater sense of helplessness and danger. Now see, right after hearing the word blacksmith, he paused for a little bit, and he looked down at his towards his legs. Okay, then it seems that he came into a decision. Then he got up and he again grabs Pip, okay, tightly. He hold Pip tightly and leaned him backward, okay, and look at his eyes straight, and asked Pip that whether should I allow you to live, okay, or should I kill you. Then he asked, do you know what a file is? Okay, do you know what a file is? File is, a tool. A tool, a device, or you can say tool with cutting ridges, used to form or smooth metal surface. Is it file? You should know this, what file is. File, a tool, okay, with cutting ridges for forming or smoothing metal surface. Okay, that is what called file. So he inquired Pip whether he knew what a file was. Okay, whether he knew what a file was. Then he inquired that what betuels. Okay, what betuels are. Will not say betuels. The C will remain silent. We'll say betuels. Betuels, that means food and provisions. Food and provisions. So he inquired about this food and about the file. Whether people knows what a file is, and whether he knows what victuals are, and this he inquired to Pip. Now see in the next paragraph, you get me a file, he tilted me again, and you get me a victuals. You get me a file, he tilted me again, and you get me victuals, he tilted me again. You bring them both to me, he tilted me again, or I'll have your heart and liver out, he tilted me again. Okay. Now see, he asked him to bring a file and victuals for him, food for him, file and food for him. And he told Pip that if Pip could not, if Pip failed to bring a file and food for him, then in that case he would take out Pip's liver and heart, and he would take up Pip's liver and heart. And now see here, the author Charles Dickens repeating the same word in order to emphasize, emphasize his words, emphasize the scene. Okay, he used the same word repeatedly till that this is called, this kind of use is called anaphora. Ring out wild bells. There we learn about anaphora. What is the anaphora? This is a anaphora, what we call using same word. This is a point, this is a device, anaphora, literal device. Okay, so anaphora, how that means repeating the same word repeatedly in order to emphasize something, or in order to emphasize your words, in order to emphasize a particular scene or particular discussion or speech. Okay, we used anaphoras, or anaphora is used by the authors, by the speakers. Okay, this is what called. All children, with this very so we came to know that he entrusted Pip to bring a file and food for him. Okay, and with this I'm going to wind up this very class today. We'll see again tomorrow with the rest. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye.